Let me read to you a passage from the 17th chapter of St. John's Gospel, verses 20 to 26. It's the Gospel for the 7th Sunday of Easter, year C. St. John writes, Jesus said, "And not only for them do I pray, but for them also who through their word shall believe in me, that they all may be one, as you, Father, in me, and I in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. And the glory with which you have given me, I have given to them, that they may be one, as we also are one, I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, that the world may know that you have sent me and have loved them as you also have loved me. Father, I will that where I am, they also whom you have given me may be with me, that they may see my glory, which you have given me, because you have loved me before the creation of the world. Holy Father, the world has not known you, but I have known you, and these have known that you have sent me. And I have made known your name to them, and will make it known, that the love wherewith you have loved me may be in them, and I in them." That's from John chapter 17, verse 20 to 26. We're led to think of Christ's mission. In that gospel passage I've just read, Christ prays to his heavenly Father for those who through their word, the word of the church as proclaimed by the apostles, shall believe in me. There have been so many who have striven to make this a reality among men, bearing witness to the spirit which ought to animate the entire church in her mission to make disciples of all the nations. Consider one such example, that of Bishop Edward Fenwick in North America, a Dominican missionary who became Ohio's first Catholic bishop. His saddle, the saddle that he used to ride his horse, became his abode of daily prayer. There he sat, praying his breviary as he rode miles and miles to find Catholics needing the sacraments. He was born far from this scene, on a Maryland plantation on August the 19th, 1768, 20 years before the French Revolution and the subsequent rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. His family, the Fenwicks, had been in Maryland since the 17th century. At 16, the boy left home to study in Belgium at a Dominican school, and in 1788 he joined the Dominicans, the Dominican order. 5 years later he was ordained in Belgium and was assigned to teaching at his alma mater. The French Revolution, however, forced the college to relocate to England. For the next decade, Father Fenwick taught at their school outside of London. In 1804, he got permission to begin a house in Kentucky, North America, where many Maryland Catholics had emigrated since the 1780s. There were about 8,000 Catholics there, with few priests to serve them. Fenwick often rode between 50 and 300 miles, visiting the sick and administering the sacraments. "We are everywhere," he wrote, "followed and pestered for confession. Many have not been for 3, 4, 8, and 12 years." In 1806, Fenwick purchased a 500-acre plantation near Springfield, Kentucky. He named it after St. Rose of Lima, who lived from 1586 to 1617, who was the first native of the Americas to be canonized. Within a few years, the property housed a church, a religious house, and the College of St. Thomas Aquinas. The school was among the first in the area, and the future Confederate, President Jefferson Davis, was among its earliest students. In 1808, Fenwick turned his eyes towards Ohio, where many Catholics had moved. He rode there, I quote from something was written, in search of stray sheep, wherever there were Catholics or rumors of Catholics. As his biographer notes, it could be dangerous. Sometimes he got lost and had to spend the night in the backwoods, still infested with wolves and other beasts of prey. On one occasion he baptized an entire settlement. He wrote, "A short time ago, a colony of 13 families, having by chance found a Catholic book, conceived the desire of embracing our holy religion. And although I was 300 miles away, they wrote me a letter in which they made their desire known to me. I made my way to this colony, which I had the good fortune to find, instructed them in all those things that are necessary to be known, and had the consolation of baptizing them." In time, he brought order to Catholic life in Ohio, a rapidly growing state. In 1821, Fenwick was named Bishop of Cincinnati, a diocese covering all Ohio and the adjoining regions. Over the next decade, Bishop Fenwick erected a cathedral, brought women religious to Ohio, and recruited more priests. In 1829, he founded a seminary, and 2 years later he established the Catholic Telegraph, a newspaper still running today. He continued to travel throughout his diocese, and in 1832 he caught cholera during a trip to northern Ohio. He died on September the 26th, 1832. By the time of Fenwick's death, Ohio had 22 churches and 24 priests. When he first arrived there had been none. He was a man after Christ's heart, who, in the Gospel that I read earlier, John chapter 17, verse 20 to 26, prayed for those who through their word shall believe in me. Our Gospel passage manifests Christ's ardent desire that the world may believe that you sent me. He prays that all may be one, as you, Father, in me and I in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me. It is a prayer for the growth and flourishing of his church. That church bears within it the person of its divine founder, and all the heavenly blessings to be found in him and in faith in his word. As St. Paul would write, this is the mystery, Christ in you, your hope of glory. Edward Fenwick gave himself over to Christ, and so should we.